Question for you, brave fantasy warrior. What if your 12th round pick becomes the guy your friends hate you for drafting? That's the dark magic of fantasy football sleepers. These aren't your big budget stars who get more airtime than Patrick Mahomes' insurance commercials. No, these are the players flying under the radar, the guys getting picked after you've run out of snacks and confidence. Let's take a deep dive into the glorious world of 2025 fantasy football sleepers. Number 10. Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams is like that one guy in your league who everyone forgets about until week 6. And suddenly, he's dropping 20-plus points, like he never left. After an up-and-down stint in Denver, thanks knee injuries and questionable play calling, Williams finds himself in Dallas, a land of promise, oversized belts, and always overhyped running backs. But here's the twist. He's the most versatile back on the Cowboys roster. He can pass protect, he can catch, and get this, he's healthy. Sportsline even called him a top sleeper based on 10,000 simulations. If your fantasy team is desperate for a mid-round hero, Williams might just be the post-hype sleeper we've been praying for since 2022. Number 9. Quentin Johnston. Remember when everyone hyped Johnston as the next big thing in 2023, and then silence. Yeah, welcome to the sophomore breakout. In 2024, he finally showed signs of life, finishing strong with 711 yards and 8 touchdowns. But in 2025, the dude's about to cook. With Keenan Allen and Mike Williams long gone, Johnston is now one of Justin Herbert's top targets. And with a new offensive scheme focused on actually throwing past the sticks, Johnston is poised for a leap. You'll look very, very smart drafting him in the 9th round when he's putting up WR2 numbers by mid-season. Don't miss the redemption arc. Number 8. Jerome Ford. The Cleveland backfield. A place where logic goes to die and touchdowns are randomly assigned by a wheel of fate. But this year, things are starting to make sense. Kind of. Ford has been flying under the radar ever since Nick Chubb's injuries started to pile up and Judkins ran into some off-field drama. Ford's not flashy, but he's efficient. He quietly posted over 5 yards per carry in limited work last season and showed that he could catch out of the backfield. If Judkins is suspended or just ineffective, Ford is your guy. He could easily slide into RB2 territory, and at the cost of a late-round pick. That's criminally good value. Number 7. Jaylen Wright. Jaylen Wright might be the best running back you've never heard of, mainly because the Dolphins' backfield is more crowded than a Starbucks during pumpkin spice season. But there's something brewing in Miami, and it's not just Tua's wild haircuts. Wright was the most efficient runner per touch in camp and showed serious juice as a change of pace option. With Mostert aging like an avocado and Kane always one hamstring tweak away from IR, Wright has a legitimate shot to carve out a role, and even take over if injuries hit. He's the kind of stash that makes you look like a genius in Week 10 while everyone else is stuck streaming washed-up veterans. Number 6. Marshawn Lloyd. Let's just say, the Packers know how to spot sleeper running backs. From Aaron Jones to A.J. Dillon RIP, his fantasy hype Green Bay has a knack for letting guys simmer before handing them the rock. And Lloyd? He's already boiling over. Reports from camp are glowing like Lambeau Field under a playoff spotlight. He's explosive, he's smart, and most importantly, he's not getting drafted until the tail end of most leagues. He has all the tools to steal this backfield, especially with Dillon struggling and Jones off to a more limited role. If Lloyd gets even 50% of the touches, you're looking at flex-worthy output and a boatload of touchdown upside. Number 5. Cedric Tillman. Quick quiz. Who was the Browns' wide receiver 2 for most of 2024? Trick question. It changed every week. But Tillman, when healthy, started to command real attention. He was averaging 10 targets a game during a hot midseason stretch before a concussion sidelined him. Now he's healthy, he's hungry, and he's no longer buried on the depth chart. Tillman's size and red zone skills make him a sneaky breakout in Kevin Stefanski's balanced attack. While everyone fights over Jerry Jeudy and Deontay Johnson, you can sneak in and grab the guy who might end up with more touchdowns than both. Number 4. Rashid Shaheed. Is it even a sleeper list without Rashid Shaheed? The man is a walking highlight reel. While everyone was focused on Olav, Shaheed was out here putting up top 5 yards per target numbers before an injury cut things short. The best part? The Saints hired Kellen Moore, a coach who understands that wide receivers are, in fact, allowed to run deep routes. Shaheed's speed is elite, and if Moore schemes him open, like he did with Keenan Allen and CeeDee Lamb, we could be looking at a WR3 with blow-up weeks that win matchups. Number 3, Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson has that guy energy. You know the type: quiet, productive, not flashy. But when you check the box score, he has 7 catches and a touchdown. That's been Ferguson's vibe in Dallas, and 2025 might be his season to ascend. Dak Prescott trusts him. The offense leans pass heavy, and outside of CeeDee Lamb, there aren't many mouths to feed. Last year, Ferguson was on pace for over 100 targets before injuries hit. If he stays upright, you're looking at a TE1, without the TE1 price tag. Travis Kelce might get all the headlines, but Ferguson could be your league winner in disguise. Number 2, David Njoku. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the David Njoku Redemption Tour. The man has been hyped more times than the Flash movie, but last year, it finally clicked. He averaged nearly 10 targets per game and was a PPR monster in the second half of 2024. With Deshaun Watson MIA and Joe Flacco, rookie QB checkdown machines under center, Njoku is set up for another monster target share. He's athletic, he's consistent, and he's basically the only guy in Cleveland who doesn't vanish every other week. Want a tight end who won't ruin your Sundays? Draft Njoku. Thank me later. Number 1, Caleb Williams. Let's get spicy. Yes, we're putting a rookie quarterback on a sleeper list, but not just any rookie. Caleb freaking Williams, the generational talent who survived the dumpster fire that was USC's 2023 defense. In his first NFL season, Williams had some ups and downs. Mostly downs, let's be honest. But he still managed 5 top 6 fantasy weeks. That's impressive for a rookie on a team still trying to remember what offense looks like. Fast forward to 2025. The Bears added a better offensive line, shiny new weapons like Luther Burden III, and most importantly, offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, the mastermind behind Detroit's recent success. If you're waiting on QB in your draft, don't be afraid to swing on Williams. He has the rushing upside, the arm talent, and now, the support system. You might draft him for his legs and end up staying for the 30 TD season. All right, fantasy fanatics, that wraps up our top 10 sleepers for 2025. If you found this helpful, if you laughed even once, or if you now believe Caleb Williams is your QB savior, then do us a huge favor. Smash that like button like it's draft night and you just stole Njoku in round 10. Hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our weekly fantasy deep dives, waiver wire heroes, or start-sit sagas.